I love Over the Garden Wall, or as it's known around here, a depiction of our children lost in the woods. I've often wondered about Greg's wish in Over the Garden Wall. It's kind of made me nuts because none of the obvious answers fit very well. For instance, my impulse belief was that Greg's wish was to trade places with Wirt. The Queen of the Clouds told Greg that she couldn't help his brother because he already belonged to the beast. So a straightforward trade seemed to make the most sense. That would explain why Greg walked away with the beast and then Wirt tore off the vines that were supposedly too late to stop. But if that were the situation, then why was the beast playing games with Greg? It was given to us in a way that looked like if Greg could solve the riddles, he could go home. But Greg does solve the riddles. He says he'll never give up. Yet as soon as he starts falling asleep, Greg starts becoming an Edelwood tree. That's a lot of extra steps just to trade places with someone. Greg should have just become half tree. And if the abandonment of hope is what turns a person into an Edelwood, then Greg shouldn't have turned. So what's going on here? I honestly don't know how to make sense of that part, but it's crystal clear that whatever was happening, it didn't involve Greg's wish. After a lot of analyzing, I think I have a better handle on what that wish actually was. If you notice, throughout the series, Greg seems oddly aware of what's going on. Greg doesn't freak out when the demon dog is right up in his face. He throws the pennies from Endicott into the fountain as if he knows the boat will lead to trouble, which, while the boat was alright, the very next thing they did see was Adelaide, who tried to enslave them. Greg even seems to know that something is wrong about Auntie Whisper's house, and warns Wirt not to go there, then looks annoyed when Wirt starts getting a crush on Lorna. Greg was very open to going everywhere and meeting everyone, but he wanted nothing to do with Lorna and Auntie Whispers, as if he knew in advance there was going to be trouble there. And Greg is surprised a few times, but he's never screaming bloody murder or panicking like Wirt is, like any normal person would be doing. A 5 or 6-year-old boy shouldn't be able to keep it that together, unless that is that Greg knows he's not in any danger. Do you see where I'm going yet? I believe that Greg's secret wish was to go back in time when he entered the unknown and get a do-over, so that way he could be the better leader that he wanted to be, to show Wirt that they didn't have to be afraid, and to be there instead of in Cloud City to keep Wirt from turning into an Edelwood tree. And I think that Greg took Jason Funderburger the frog with him. My guesstimate is that episodes 1 through 7 are showing the self-aware Greg who already went back in time, and episode 8 shows the first timeline with Greg when he originally made his wish. Then we go back to the do-over timeline in episodes 9 and 10, where Greg is back in the present after fixing some of the problems in the past so that he can save Wirt. Did that make sense? If not, think of episode 8 like the first episode, and then episodes 1 through 7, 9, and 10 would play out in normal order. Now, just because Greg goes back to the beginning of their adventure doesn't mean that everything is the exact same, or that Greg knows exactly how to make every situation better. It's a butterfly effect issue where if you move left instead of right, something changes, which makes me think that the boys did not run into Beatrice their first time through the unknown. But looking at the series as a do-over timeline, there are so many things that pop up to suggest this is accurate. For instance, Greg gets freaked out after going upstairs in Auntie Whisper's room, so he probably didn't do that the first time through. Notice though, after Greg got irritated while watching Wirt and Lorna flirt, Jason Funderburger quickly hops upstairs and grabs Auntie Whisper's bell. Now, the frog has always seemed on the derpy side, but we know that's not exactly true either, because in the right environment, the frog walks upright, plays the piano, and even sings. He's very well to do as frogs go, yet Froggy Funderburger never goes far from Greg in the series, even though he's a frog from the real world and should wander off and not care about Greg at all. Still, in Lorna's home, the frog goes out of his way to get Greg's attention, then goes upstairs when he shouldn't have any motive to do so. A few short seconds later, he swallows the bell, and Greg comes up with a plan to use the bell on Demon Lorna, although he wasn't sure how to execute it correctly. But it seems that the frog knew that Greg was stuck and didn't know how to fix this problem, so Jason Funderburger went upstairs to seek out the enchanted bell for Greg, meaning Jason Funderburger is either way more intelligent than any of us realize, or he too went back in time with Greg and knows exactly what to look out for. And overall, really, doesn't that just sound like the kind of thing Greg would wish for? Hey, Queen of the Clouds, I wish for me and my frog to get a do-over over so that we can beat the unknown and go home with Wirt. Yeah, I might be overthinking it, but that's literally my job. Well, that's all I have for now, but this video's not quite over yet. I get a lot of comments that say, do a theory on this topic, but I've already done those theories. So please consider going to my main channel page and clicking on the video tab so that way you can see everything I've done. You will probably find a lot of things you like that you never even knew that I posted. I want to let you know that I also have two other channels, Say Halo Goodbye Gaming and the Fanily Family Vlogs. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to hit subscribe and share. I can use all the help I can get to let other people know that this channel exists. And if you made it this far, leave me a comment that says something like, hey, I made it to the end, and then let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I can't make any promises, but the more people that request something, the more I can look into it. Okay, well, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.